Hello guys, and you're welcome to my video. And in this video I'll be covering out the weekly recap from the previous week, which was majorly the first week of October 2025. So we got lots of amazing trades both on my VIP and on the community channel too, whereby if you're not in any of those groups, use the link in the description to know more and join up and get started. So we had lots of amazing trades, especially on my VIP. We made more than 1,000 pips once more, and the week was really massive with lots of buy. And our weekly outlook was very accurate, and we were able to use that in order to get access to catch lots of great setups, most of them which you could actually see right now on the screen. So I wouldn't want this video to be too long because lately my recap videos have been quite long, but then I would make this as short as possible, and I'll also cover each and every entry of how I called all of these trades, or most of these trades, because some of them I did not actually call, but how I caught some of these trades and how you could actually catch and take advantage of most of them. So first things first, with the weekly outlook that we're having, what I was expecting price to do was at the open gap a bit up and tap and push up higher, and actually that's what happened. In the last weekly outlook video I actually explained why I needed to see this happen, because already we had all the bullish momentum building up, and on 5 minutes time frame right here we could easily see what happened here. There was this price gave this break of structure, showed this change of character, whereby when we go up to 15 minutes and above, we could see this guy here being a week that swept liquidity and giving us multiple buy levels, to which we were able to catch the this particular entry at the market open. And you can actually see the entry model that I actually used for this. I've spoken about this countless times, multiple times actually. So you could easily see price sweeping liquidity from this low right here, and price coming back either for this high or coming back lower into the discount level to push up higher. This is most often called some people may call it change of character, change of service delivery, all of that. But when you backtest and you go about it in every pair respectively, you actually see how it actually works accurately. Because what's the major thing we tend to do here in the market is, when you are able to see when trades fail, you'll be able to have like a clearer sight. I don't know if you get what I mean by that, but you could actually get the whole logic of how the market moves, because you could actually see this break of structure, intending that there are people now that would attempt to start selling from this point here. This is where their entries will start to be. They'll start losing their entries at this point, and then they'll keep up their stop loss. They'll keep up their stop loss at that high. So sorry about that, having little network drama. Let's come back here. They're having their stop loss up at this high. So most times once price gives a full body close above that level will then be flipped as a way to push up higher. And you could see how the buy was really massive. My target that day, I called this trade on my VIP channel actually. My target was up to 39.20, and you could see how price actually smashed that aggressively and went ahead to chase our second target, which was 39.50. So after price did that, this trade, we called this trade during the Asian session, when we came up to this was at the London Open, during the London session, early London session. When we go up to 15 minutes, when we come on to 15 minutes, we tend to notice that I think this is not clear, but from 15 minutes already we could see that the most recent break of structure that price left was actually here on the 15 minutes, whereby price left this whole discount level for us. If you don't know what the discount level is, when you just from the point whereby the low before price break created the next high or did the whole break of structure stuff, you could easily see your discount level sitting below the 0.5 level of your Fibonacci retracement tool. Let's go up to 30 minutes. I actually want to identify something for us right there. 30 minutes. Let's come back up to 30 minutes. Sorry. When we come back up to 30 minutes, you could actually notice this particular entry strategy that I use already. From this point, even if I don't go down to 15 or 5 minutes, I already know that there's a break of structure here. Because after price, most times when price creates new ATH, people tend to FOMO into sales, or tend to, when they try to see like a sales structure starting to build up, they tend to FOMO into it. And we could actually see what happened here exactly at this point. I've covered this entry to multiple times. You could see what happened here. Some people now, from the fact that price took liquidity from this point, they'll be waiting to load their sell entries here and their stop loss here. But then once price gives a full candle close above this particular candle, this mostly all these dojis and star candles, but you actually know them because those candles, I've covered this out. Actually, I'll leave the link in the description so you can check out on that video. So what you tend to do when you see this kind of stuff is you take your FIB tool again, calculate 50% of that and mark out 50%. Most likely, if you go down to 15 minutes, now we saw this on 30 minutes here, when we come down to 15 minutes, you tend to notice that there's a break of structure and there could be a XAUUSD, that's change of service delivery, at that particular point too. So adding up that all of that confluence, you can easily take up your buy. And if we come up to 1 hour, when we come up to 1 hour, there's an FVG on 1 hour at the same time too. So having all of this sitting at a point, can you see this is the FVG right here? Having all of this, you get to have like more confidence towards the setup that you actually have, because all of this actually add up. And remember, I always say this in most of my videos, that some FVGs you don't tend to see that they just react from the top of it. In fact, I prefer to see my FVG reacting from the midpoint or the top of it, because it gives me much more of a stronger bias. Can you see what happened now? Let's say you trade limit now. You could easily set your limit at here. 41 pips stop loss is not quite much actually. Once price taps it, you could see what happened next. There was this bearish break of structure right here. So after price tapped our entry, price gave a full body close above this high that price tapped from here. You understand what I'm saying? So you get a change of character. And entries load up here again. Can you see? You can easily just put it up at the top of the FVG. I choose the top of the FVG because most people again might be trapped from the fact that they start to sell this FVG without waiting to see a full body close that is invalidated. So easily put the entry at the top of it, and you could see what happened. This trade later got triggered towards New York session, early New York session. It got triggered in New York session because we had our first move here, but didn't actually smash our target at 39.50. So price still came back, tapped, but did not take our break even. In fact, if you are on this particular trade, after price moved about 3 hours, you should already be considering taking partials and just breaking even and holding up the trade. And you could see you get an easy trade. And why I actually picked this the second time was the fact that price still came back, so it's giving us another opportunity, plus the fact that it took out this low, whereby this would be inducement, taking out this low, and then next thing pushing up towards the next target. Why did I target this point? I targeted this point because from the fact that already we know that price is quite bullish, instead of to be having I would call it some very distant levels to take profits, you could easily just use tens to attack it. That's actually how I go about it most times. So you could actually see what even happened here. This was additional confirmation, because from the fact that the moment price came back here, you can see this break of structure. Price went back into this premium level, took it and sold back down into this entry. But immediately it tapped the entry for a second time, we saw an aggressive full body close. After we got this full body close, automatically, this guy here, right here, will become your breaker block. If you don't know what that is, it's very, very much easy. You could see what happened here. Break of structure, another block sitting back here, price coming back into the premium level, selling, but then failing with this full body close above it. You could easily take your entry right here and you buy. That's actually why I indicated this buy right here, and you could see how price bought up aggressively. This later smashed TP, leads towards NY, smashed TP at that point, and after it did that, you could still see what happened here. Another build up or another entry starting to build up here. You could see this break of structure. Next in price came break structure to the downside again and came back here. If you've been following us for a while now, I've showed you guys how effective this particular entry is. It's very, very effective. Can you see? Back down here, picking orders, try to sell, but then we saw full body close. You look for your entries back here. This is very, very effective. Very, very effective. There was a trade that happened on Friday. We'll get to that. This was the same entry that I actually used to identify that price was actually going to make that move, because already it's showing that those sellers or the selling pressure that is there is already getting weak, and you could already see what you could actually see what happened here. After the full close, price still came back and still give us additional entry at this point. And I know you're wondering why did I chase this guy here. It was early Asian session. I don't like to, because probably I might be asleep, so I don't like to hold up trades that I wouldn't be too active to monitor, so you could just easily target the next side. And this guy is on very, very low time frame. You could see that it's a 7-hour trade, which is actually very, very solid. So down earlier, this happened. This started to happen on Tuesday, but earlier Monday, if we should go up to 30 minutes, let's go up to 30 minutes. When we come back up to 30 minutes, you will notice what happened here. Despite everything that we're seeing and all the trades that we're taking on lower time frame, you could see that everything on higher time frame was also adding up, because you could see what happened right here. This other block swept liquidity from here, break of structure, price came back for that level with the FVG and still bought up. But notice what happened here. There was another break of structure here, leaving us with this guy here, with this XAUUSD here. That's the change in service view right here. So don't forget, I talked about this in the last video too. Most of these levels, when price is forming up each day, try to mark out all those levels. When you mark out all those levels, you have an advantage to when you notice probably price later took an opposite direction towards those levels that you initially marked. You actually know what is going on, because see this what happened right here. When you come to the market now, early London session, on Tuesday London session, we should go back down to 15 minutes here. When we come back down to 15 minutes, you will actually notice that the moment price actually tapped out this point, because this level, this particular entry too is very, very good. It's very, very good. It was even triggered twice, because I spoke about it here, but it was triggered again. You could see what happened. It's an additional confidence based on the fact that this move happened while price was actually rushing up to give a break of structure on higher time frame, but then still on that higher time frame, price is still building up to respect that entry again on the higher time frame. Can you see how the structure is very, very beautiful? All of this is very, very beautiful because it happens in a very organized manner. Then see what happened later on. These people, this low right here, price came back, took it, and after it took it, price tapped into this level. You could easily put your stop right here, because most likely if price is going to push down lower, it will be to this point or a bit lower here. Can you see what happened? Price tapped it and came back to this point. If you notice what happened from this point was a solid buy level. And if we come back down to 5 minutes, when we come back down to 5 minutes, you notice what happened with this touch back here. Notice that already there are buyers that were taken out. If we should go down to 1 minute, but I don't want to go down to 1 minute to make it more compact. Well, on 1 minute time frame, there was a break of structure here from the time that price took liquidity right here. So there were some early buyers that were trying to take their buys from this point, but price took them out. But after price took them out, now price still came back to that level to reclaim their entries as a way to push up higher. That's what we see here. I spoke about this in the previous video and how it's very, very effective. It's a very aggressive, not aggressive actually, I would say, but a very good kind of confirmation entry that I used to. So let's say we have this break of structure right here. In fact, you'd even get a sweep, but break of structure right there. This was where most of the buyers were loading up their buys, but their stops here. You notice that price will take out those stops in order to fulfill what's happening on higher time frame, come back towards that their entry again and push up higher to look something like this. And that's exactly what happened right here after this touch. This is additional confirmation to tell us that okay, this level that we've tapped into will actually hold. So even if you did not enter at this point now, you could easily get to enter from this level or wait from the, you know that this already here price gave a break also on lower time frame, came back to a premium zone, but then closed above it. Automatically this level will be flipped as your breaker block, and you can see how this guy was easily tapped, and we use this entry to chase the next target, which was $4,000. Can you see? This was how we actually cut this whole trade, this whole level, because price was very, very bullish and aggressive. And after this happened, you could even get additional buys down towards late, not before late NY, early NY. We already got more entries because price was held here because of this resistance level that was sitting right here, but price gave a full body close, came back, tapped into that level, bought up, break of structure, tapped into another XAUUSD and pushed up higher. And late NY, price was still behaving giving this kind of signal because of the fact that it sold back down here. And when it sold back down here, it took out those buyers that were buying from this level again, came back for this point that it did not tap. That is the point whereby price broke out of the resistance that was here and bought up aggressively. The same thing again that I'm talking about here, because their entries are here but price took them out. There's an FVG right here on, I think, 3 minutes to 1 minute, and you can see how price still held this back up again. Another resistance level, full closed above, touched it and got back here. I remember that I said about this particular entry right here, this guy right here. This is exactly what happened again right here because of this break of structure. And price came, sellers loaded their sales here and price started to sell off. Their stops are here, but then reversed back, started to consolidate, give a full body close again. After the full body close, that's where we come in. You should also take notes. Patience is very, very patience is very, very key. It's very, very key in this game that we're actually taking, because most times when you see everything forming, sometimes you might get this kind of rush to jump into the market, but then patience is very, very key. You try to be patient to see everything happening, because you could actually FOMO into something and it will actually really, really mess you up. And notice what happened after I took this particular trade. I think I called this guy here, but I didn't call this one because we're already on this guy. I wanted this guy to take TP, and I already smashed TP at 4K, came back for these entries, and like, structure is very, very beautifully, because you could actually see all of these things I've been talking about happening at every point in time, because you could see another break of structure right here, but price sold out, took these buyers out right here, but their entries were here, right? Can you see how price still came back, reclaimed those levels, and I think at somewhere point here gave them more buys that bought up aggressively? Can you see? Beautiful delivery again. And if we come up down to this, happened on Wednesday, late NY Wednesday, and during this was Asian session. It happened during the Asian session on Wednesday. I want to come back here. If we should go up to 15 minutes, you would notice what happened here. I want us to see this. I'll actually go up higher at 30 minutes, but let's go up to 30 minutes. I actually took this on 30 minutes. I actually got the whole bias on 30 minutes. Remember what I said again, when price starts to buy and take out all these 80s, people tend to start to get this kind of FOMO, especially at the little and most little sign of a particular, probably suspecting a sell build up. People tend to start to look for sales. A lot. And if we come here, you could actually see the same thing happening. I'm actually looking for where I saw. Yes, this is it exactly. This is on 5 minutes. This happened around towards the closing of Asian session, but you could see that price took liquidity from this point, formed the candle again, give a full body close above it. Can you see how price still respected that level to buy easily? Your stop will be here. This stop is not I don't think it's up to 60 pips. Can you see? It's about 40 pips or so, or 35 pips. And price tapped into it, then give another break of. So this is another confirmation in regards to this particular entry that we took here, and easily tap it here, and you can easily get a solid 250 pips here. You can see if actually 280 pips. But because of the fact that price actually bought aggressively, when I called this particular trade, and when I called it, I was like, it's kind of risky, so we need to prioritize profits. And when we got halfway back to this high, already we took partials and held the rest. And can you see it did not take us out? It did did not take us out. Smashed TP at around towards late NY. And when we come back up to 15 minutes, after price did that, when price hits close to the 4,060 milestone, you could see what happened. There was an aggressive fallback. I didn't catch this actually, but what we can notice is the inverse scenario towards the whole candle entry that I talked about. If you notice what happened here, more people were still buying. There was a lot of buying pressure, but next thing we saw a decline that came back, took out these buyers right here, and after it did that, price came back to a very nice buy level right here, whereby you could see the whole break of structure. And if we go down to 5 minutes, you would notice that there are people that were buying here, but their stops were taken at this point, and then it reclaimed their entry again to push up higher. But then next, notice what happened. This is where sometimes most of these entries you can identify when they fail, because after this thing happened, most of you that entered this by reclaiming these levels now would get a good push up. But then once price give a full body close below that level, now it's not valid anymore. And then the fact that this guy was sitting right here, I actually expected that this push might actually tap into it, because most sellers now will start to look for a selling entry from this particular point. But this guy did not take it. We got a full breakdown. Then price came back for 50% of this week. After it took it, gave a break of structure, then we can enter at this point whereby this level now has been flipped because of the full body close. This level now has been flipped as a level to push down lower instead of a level to be used up to for the buys. And can you see what happened? It stood up aggressively. In fact, if I'm targeting price to come back to 4k, because that would be my target actually, if I'm targeting price to come back to 4k, once this is about 450 pips, I'll just calculate about 250 pips to 300 pips. Once I get that move, I'll either consider to close or take lots of partials. And can you see what happened? This was exactly what happened, about 300 pips before price decided to start to give a switch. And all this started to happen towards the Asian session. And if you're on this trade already, you've taken most of your partials right here, you've breaking even, you've placed your BE right here. So if you are waiting to wake up to TP now, when you wake up and you see this whole aggression that happened here, if you see what happened here, if price was going to continue selling, price will actually, from the fact that price came back here, tapped into the premium level and sold, giving another break of structure here, the fact that price came back to this FVG right here and to the premium level, if this level price closes gives a full body close above it, automatically these sales are not going. So that is the whole concept behind why I call this particular trade. We actually took this trade on my channel. I think I called this one also on the community channel too. Very, very nice trade. Can you see? Full body close above it, but there was a buying level here that was not mitigated yet. That was yet to be mitigated. So price took out early buyers, and even if you were buying early from this point, after this price took out this level, you could see how we still came back, reclaimed this level and pushed up higher. There's selling pressure from this point. I know if you saw the same entry that we used previously there, selling pressure right here, price came and gave a good reaction before giving us a full close above it again, meaning this level is another buy level. That's your buy level again right here. But price came back here, took out early buyers that their stops are here again. After it did that, still reclaimed that level and give another beautiful push here. So people that were late, early NY, you could actually get this entry, and this entry actually printed solid 170 pips. At least if you're having like let's say your stop is right here, let's do that. Let's say you cut it here, your stop is somewhere here, and you're getting 180 pips. That's almost 3 hours already. That's enough for you to take partials and break even and hold the rest, because after that price started to sell off aggressively. But when I call this trade, already at this point I told them to take more partials on my VIP. Already on the commission to the 2 partials and we're breaking the broke even too. And after price sold, price continued selling. Actually, it stayed out of this because the selling pressure was actually very, very much. After all the sales happened, price was still starting to build up. When I came to the market and I saw all of this, it wasn't too clear for me, so I left it out and waited for London. And early London, can you see what happened already? If you look at this closely, you could see price tapping buys here, pushing up, coming back to this point, break of structure, most sellers rolling up their sales here, and they got a little move, but then price give a full body close above this level. Full body close above this level, that is, you should be eyeing this point to enter this. I enter this on the personal account from this point that it broke out, exactly at this point whereby it broke out, but price still came back. Expected this actually. Price still came back. There was this FVG here, and price failed to close below the FVG and respected that level aggressively. You still see the same thing that happened for which point this happened a lot of times. Actually, it happened here whereby the sales fail, and also right here too. You could see the push down here. If you go down to 5 minutes, you will see a break of structure at this point. Price coming back to the premium level and to this same neckline level, but then give them a little reaction. Next thing, full close above, and price came back and did this. So what I actually expect for the new week is that most likely now price will come back for this point. Why do I expect price to come back for this point? If we go down a bit to 5 minutes, you could actually see the whole selling pressure that was right here, the whole bearish candle that was trying to push price down. And if we take 50% of that candle, we could easily get our entry here and our stop here. And I expect this to actually hold. Actually, for my weekly outlook, the weekly outlook is out already, so the link is in the description too. I expect it either from this point 40.18 towards this level right here, 40.15, to hold up, pushing price towards 4,100. But then if we get a bad reaction that actually takes this trade out, which I doubt, if we get a bad reaction that takes this trade out, I expect that this level will still hold it because of the fact that we broke out of it as a resistance level. So most likely we'll still reclaim it and push up higher towards those 4,100 regions. So stay active, join the community channel if you're not part of it. You could join my VIP too. October has been running pretty hot and we've been making good profits too, and this week is not going to be an exception. I'll be active and I'll be ready for us to make good money, and I love you all, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So thank you for the love, and we'll see in the next video. And also, the VIP is very, very much active. You could use that as a way also, because I have a mentorship program going on right there, which costs about $200, which you could easily sign up and get access to. We're making good profits. I have a client that actually scaled up as high as $10,000 from $600, which was actually very, very good progress. So I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So don't forget to get ready, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.